What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a 2017 drugstore beauty favorites. So I did take a poll on my Instagram asking whether or not you guys wanted to see a 2017 beauty favorites video first or a review on the new NARS foundation, which I have on my face today. So as you can see from the video that's going up first, we're doing a 2017 beauty favorites because that's what won. So I decided to break this up into two videos because I had way too many products for one video. It would have been like an hour-long video. So I'm gonna break it up into drugstore and then another one for high-end beauty products. So just fair warning, the drugstore one is a lot smaller than the high-end one. I really want to get into more drugstore makeup this year, so that's on my list of things to do this year. Yeah, happy New Year's, happy 2018. I don't want to drag this intro on any longer than it needs to be, so let's go ahead and just get started with my 2017 drugstore beauty favorites. So we're gonna go in order of how I would apply things to my face. So I'm gonna start off with foundation. I've yet to find a primer from the drugstore, so if you guys have any suggestions, definitely leave them in the comments below so I can check them out. But my all-time favorite go-to drugstore foundation this year or last year was Sonia Kashuk's Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation, and I had the shade number 2 Vanilla. I could probably start using this shade again now. This was obviously a little light for me in the summertime when I stopped using it, but I used this thing like all up completely. I love this stuff, it's so good. It does like have a slight floral fragrance to it, so if you don't like that you might not like this, but I absolutely love this. The coverage is buildable, it lasts a good amount of time throughout the day, and it definitely kept me matte throughout the day, so this was a staple for me in 2017. And another foundation that launched last year was the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. So I have these in two different shades. I have Soft Ivory and Soft Beige. I never found my exact shade in this foundation, but mixing these two worked pretty well for me. I actually really love this foundation. So this is very comparable to like MAC Studio Fix and Estee Lauder Double Wear, which are like two of my favorite foundations when it comes to high-end products. So this is very comparable. It even smells like them. So it smells like paint, to be honest. These are really good foundations that launched this year. These were a big hit and they're under $5, or they are $5, something like that. Something really inexpensive. If you haven't tried these, I would definitely get your hands on them because they're good. The next items are concealers that I want to talk about, and we all know how much I love my Tarte Shape Tape, but of course that is a higher end product, and something very comparable that launched this year were the Colourpop No Filter concealers. So I have the shades Light Neutral 15 and Light 20. So I use Light 20 around my face for spot concealing, and then I like to use the 15 underneath my eyes because it's a little bit lighter. The one thing that you do have to note with these is that when they dry, they do dry a little bit darker than what their original color is, so you just have to keep that in mind. But these are awesome concealers. They don't crease and they stay put throughout the day, so really good concealers. The next product that I want to talk about is really exciting for the drugstore because for so long, so many of us have been in love with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and we all know that that one costs an arm and a leg, and we needed something comparable at the drugstore. So Maybelline did it this year. They came out with the Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I have this in the shade Fair Light number 10, and this is an amazing powder from the drugstore. It does have a little bit of a color deposit with it, so it's not 100% translucent. So just keep that in mind when you're picking out a shade. They do have a wide range of shades, so anybody can use this powder. But this is awesome. It keeps me matte throughout the day. It does crease a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It's not as good as the Laura Mercier. The Laura Mercier doesn't budge on me as fast as this one does. Like I said, it does deposit some color, so it is going to add a little bit more coverage to areas that you want it to. And then the next product that I have is a bronzer. I'm sure you guys all know which bronzer I'm going to be talking about it because I used this throughout the entire year last year, almost until the end of the year. But then I started getting bored and I wanted to play with other stuff, but this is still an absolute favorite of mine. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. If you guys haven't tried this yet, you need to try this. It's so buttery smooth hence the name. And it's really good because it's buildable. If you are not into like super pigmented bronzers or you like to build your products up, this is great. It's so smooth, it doesn't transfer like patchy or anything on the skin. I'm actually not wearing it today, but if you guys go back and watch any of my old videos, most likely I'm wearing this bronzer and it's amazing. And I think they came out with new shades, so if you have darker complexions, I think you're going to be able to find something that will work for you now, which is awesome because this is an amazing bronzer and everybody should have their hands on it. And then I have some highlighters from the drugstore. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this one in last year's video, but this is a Colourpop Super Shock highlight in the shade Flexitarian. So this is what Flexitarian looks like. It's like an icy white highlight and it looks really good on the face if you are really into the like blinding highlight. Any of their Super Shock highlighters are really good if you're interested. Another highlighter that launched last year at the drugstore, a Maybelline MasterChrome metallic highlighter in the shade 100 Molten Gold. Everybody freaked out when this one came out. It's got that foiled look to it, and this is very comparable to like Estee Lauder. I think it's the Heat Wave, and it's right here. And it's also similar to MAC's Whisper of Guilt, Laura Geller Gilded Honey. So all of those highlighters, this is a really good drugstore dupe for those. As you can see, these both have that sort of metallic high shine, bam in your face sort of highlight. So this came out last year. It was a big hit at the drugstore and it's definitely one of the best highlights that Maybelline has ever come out with. All right, so let's talk about eyeshadows now. First eyeshadows that I wanted to talk about are Colourpop pressed eyeshadows because I think last year was the first time that I ever tried them, and I tried them in the I Love Satin collection that she launched with Colourpop. These, I'm gonna cover up everything that's not Colourpop. I believe this one's Colourpop, yeah. So these here are all Colourpop eyeshadows and they're all extremely good. Those are the first Colourpop eyeshadows that I tried. Like I said, were from the I Love Satin collaboration that came out last year. And then I recently just got the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop eyeshadow palette. This is what I have on my eyes right now. I have these two shades, this orangish red brick shade, and then this deep like brown shade. And then I also have on one of the Colourpop Super Shock eyeshadows in the shade Amaze. So this is what this one looks like. These are really, really good eyeshadows. So these single shadows from Colourpop are like super buttery and they're so soft, but this is what I have on the center of my eyelid, as well as something else that I will talk about in my high-end favorites. Colourpop eyeshadows are super affordable and they're amazing. I especially love the pressed eyeshadows that they have. I think they're like $5 a pan or something like that. Something very, very affordable, and they always have sales. So those were awesome. I discovered those eyeshadows last year and I absolutely love them. The next palette that we can talk about, I think we all know where this is going. This was an awesome, awesome product launch last year. The Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. You guys have seen this everywhere by now. I know you have. I'm always reaching in here for all of these like warm and neutral transition colors, dark colors. I don't use these down here that often, but that's okay with me. I am getting my money's worth for the rest of the palette. I mean, these are awesome colors to have anyways. I love this palette. I reach for it a lot. You can see, well, I don't know if it'll pick up the detail on camera, but I definitely dig into these three the most, but I still use a lot of the other shades in here. This is an awesome palette. The quality of these shadows is superb, and I do consider this drugstore. It is Morphe. It's an affordable brand, especially for like the amount of shadows you're getting in here. I think this was like, I don't remember. It was definitely less than $30 and you're getting 35 eyeshadows in here, so steal. And then the next one that I wanted to talk about is the Morphe 350 palette. So they did just rebrand their packaging. Everything looks a little bit different, but just a little bit like better in my opinion. So it does come with the insert in here with all of the names of the shadows in there. And then this is what this palette looks like. I have been diving into this one a lot too over the past couple of months since I purchased it. I really, really enjoy this eyeshadow palette. Again, it was like $20 I think, and there's 35 shades in here. So an awesome, awesome price. Those Morphe eyeshadow palettes, those are my two favorites. I have tried other Morphe shadows in the past, which were okay. They were good quality for what you're paying, but these are like amazing quality. And then along with shadows, I wanted to mention a glitter glue that I discovered this past year. This is the NYX glitter glue. I never purchased one of these because I didn't realize that NYX had one. I only thought that I could get like the Too Faced glitter glue or something like higher end, and I didn't want to spend that much money on something that I just wouldn't use that often, because I do use Fix Plus or I just wet my brush to get the same sort of effect. But I did find this and I went ahead and I purchased it. So I used this today underneath the Colourpop Amaze eyeshadow, the one that was in the circular jar. I used this underneath that and it works awesome under any sort of glitter or shimmery eyeshadow. It just helps the color really pop and adhere, and it doesn't fall all over your face and leave any flakes. So this is an awesome find for me, at least in 2017. This isn't anything new, but I just wanted to mention it because I have been using it lately. I have to give a shout out to my #1 mascara that I always use. You guys know the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes mascara in Black is Black. This is my absolute favorite. I always go back to it. I do have a higher end mascara that I like, but I've never purchased it. I've only had like one of those trial sizes of it. God, I just cannot fathom spending $20 or $25 on a mascara when this works so good for me. It's worked amazing for years and I always go back to it. So I had to give this a shout out. You guys know I love this. And then the last few items that I wanted to talk about, since we're on eyes, let's just get lashes out of the way. So I've found a few brands that are pretty affordable. So they're a little more pricey than normal drugstore. They're pricier than Ardell lashes, but they're not as pricey as, say, like the lashes I'm wearing now, which I will talk about in the next video. Some lashes that I found that I really like are by Flutter lashes. I have these in the styles Captivating, which are here, and Intoxicating. These are very similar lashes, but these are some of my favorites from this line. I was really into the Slaylas, but those were limited edition and you can't get them anymore. I'm super bummed about it, but these are very similar to those styles. So if you liked those, these are very similar. You'll probably like these. House of Lashes is another amazing brand. These are the Allura Light lashes. This brand is most famous for their iconic lashes. So I do own those also. Those are really great, but I like these a little bit more. And then Koko Lashes. I'm sorry that all of my packages are like super dirty because I reuse my lashes. These are Demi G's by Koko. Koko Lashes is also really known for Queen Bees and some other style, but Queen Bees especially because Katie wears those. But yeah, so those are the lashes that I discovered last year and I really love those for a more affordable option. And then the last items that I wanted to talk about, Lippies. So I have found my favorite drugstore lip liner that I absolutely love. Not just the color, but the formula. So these are Colourpop's Lippie pencils. You can see this one right here is well loved. So these are Colourpop's Lippie pencils. The formula of these is absolutely amazing. They're creamy, they stay on all day, and they're easy to apply. I don't like when, I think these are, no, they're not wooden, but you know when wooden pencils sort of like drag on the lips and they feel dry? These are not like that at all. They're super creamy, and I discovered these last year and these are my absolute favorites. So I have a variety of colors here, mostly some nudes, and then I have like a purple and a red. This nude is my absolute favorite and they don't sell it anymore. So I am using it until I absolutely cannot use it anymore. This is in the shade Toy and it was like my absolute perfect nude for every day. I cannot find anything that matches up to it enough. So as you can see, like I've tried to find something similar, but this is too dark. And this is BFF. So these are like $5. If you haven't tried them, I would definitely give them a go. And then the last two things that I wanted to talk about were also from Colourpop, and they are lip glosses. These are their Ultra Glossy Lip. So they're both collabs, these colors in particular, but I really enjoy the formula of these. So this is in the shade Curvy. This came out with I Love Sadi's collection. So this is Curvy. And then the other one I have is Moonchild. which is from Kathleen Light's collection. And this is what I have on my lips now, paired with the Toy Lip Liner. So I just really love these formulas. I need to get out into the drugstore more and pick up some products from there. I know not everybody shops online, but Colourpop is a really affordable brand, and they are now at Sephora, which is awesome. So I absolutely love their formula of lip glosses, and I've absolutely been loving them. So that's gonna wrap up the video today, you guys. I do want to get into more actual drugstore makeup this year. On my to-do list, I want to incorporate more drugstore, because my drugstore list compared to my like high-end luxury list was just kind of very disproportionate. So I do want to get into the drugstore more. I'm gonna do it, okay? It's like a New Year's resolution. That's like a stupid one, but you know, for the sake of trying new products and seeing what else is out there, I do want to get my hands on some drugstore stuff, and they have been coming out with some really good things lately. So I'm excited to try out new things. Leave me some of your favorites from the drugstore down below in the comments so that I can check them out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, so you can see all of my future videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!